West Palm Beach is definitely a party scene, and there's only, in the mainstream, there's only so many places people know about. You know, there's downtown Clematis, and, you know, there's City Place, and there's all these places that people know about, but it's not until you find out what the underground cool places are that you realize there's so many other things that are offered if people just knew about them.
Oh, Carolina, what you been fed? 'Cause I was walking in a dream. What you mean? How you been? I never knew I'd get so red. I got so red. Raspberry on the ferry, I was feeling kind of seasick on that road. Raspberry on the ferry, I was feeling kind of seasick on that
It frustrates me. I remember when I was in college and I didn't want to party. I didn't want to, like, do all these things that so many other people say that's what you do in college. I was like, no, I want to do cool things. Like, I want to do things that I'm going to remember and not things that I regret. There's definitely a difference between poetry and spoken word. And spoken word is so much more performance-based. It's written to be spoken out loud as opposed to be read in a book or from a page. A lot more times it's memorized, so there's that connection, and so that's cool to see as well with the different artists, what their style is, what their flow is, and you connect really well to different style types. It's just like music, but the words are the music. I never wrote spoken word. For years and years I would watch it but never try it myself until I went to an open mic, this little teeny tiny show called Lyrical Ink that one of my close friends had started. With the idea and with this creative space of people, and with this safe place to share. And I went back the next month and I shared my very first spoken word poem.
Are y'all having fun so far? Ready? Crowd check, crowd check.
It was really awkward and it was really over emotional. And then I came back the next month and the next month and the next month, and I started helping her run it. And then eventually I took it over myself, and that was the first open mic show that I took on as hostess with the hostess.
My name is Jeanette. I am your hostess with the mostest for tonight.
Brand new, blank. Watch how fast this fills up.
One of the things that is really important to me is creating a safe place for any type of art and for any type of artist to share. And that's how I am trying to influence culture here in West Palm is to offer places for people to share their heart and their soul. Be okay and supported, because that's rare. That's rare everywhere, not just here in West Palm.
If you have never been here before, welcome. This is the Utterance open mic here at Common Grounds. Talk about, you can clap for that. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Hey God, It's been a while since we last spoke. In fact, your holy word has been collecting dust.
Your secrets are rubies. Red and raw, I keep them in a pocket close to me, almost as close as we. You are the orbit that I cling to.
About all the scars that were all over his body, he was fresh from the hospital, straight up off the ivy. His dad has been beating him since he learned to use the potty.
I put a few mile markers between our relationship, sowing distance and now reaping desolation.
All of space, the whole universe wide, yet my eyes never cleave from this old path that is my destiny. You sit next to me.
That really messed me up. Didn't know how he was talking. He said, "Don't trip. I know that God got me." I
lean in closer, all full lips and jawline and earnest eyes. My heartbeat quickens, it races even as your lips graze my ear. I hear, hey Jeanette, Jeanette, is your friend single?
Now I'm stranded in this desert. It's so hot and this body is shutting down. I'm tired, God.
Doused in the liquid fire, setting my heart aflame, that ashes smolder silently.
An idle mind is like a playground for the enemy, jumping from neuron to neuron, having recess in these cells.
Heart aflame once more. All I'm waiting for is your light. Thank you, guys.
I think there's so much power in words. I think there's so much, just the power of ink. When you write something down or you say it on a microphone, it is echoed through the hearts of people. It's an outflow of the soul. It's unbelievable. I connect with it so much. It's impacted me so much, and I just love to be able to pour my soul out and do it for God. That's who I do it for. That's the only reason I do it.
I guess I used to go to a spoken word event called, and there's this group called P4CM, and they're Christians, and I'll go to their events, and I look up to them, and they're really good, you know, like, I look up to them because their spoken poetry is about pretty much like relationship with Christ, and it's so convicting, and I guess it's also inspired me to do spoken word, because I just want people to know who Christ is, you know, I mean, that's why we're here, so that's what inspired me to do it, you know.
I write from a very raw place, and I have definitely penned some poems in tears, and I've definitely healed through some poems. I remember specifically there's a poem I wrote, it's called Joy, and it's about how joy is so much more important than being happy, and how just because there's darkness does not mean we don't have joy. And I wrote this just for other people. It was for around Christmas time, and I didn't realize that I had also written it for me until one of my close friends was killed in a motorcycle accident on his way to my show. And the first poem I performed after I got the news was Joy, and every single word was for me, and I cried my way through it, but it was the most powerful, healing moment I've ever had performing, because as I was saying the words, my heart and my grief was also healing, and it's a moment that I'll never ever forget, and that is the most beautiful thing about spoken word. There's so much healing in it. When the Japanese mend broken objects, they increase the damage by filling the cracks with gold. They believe that when something suffers damage and has a history, it becomes more beautiful. You have been told too many tall tales about your identity, sold the notion you are nothing, persuaded you're pathetic, undeserving of God's presence, presented with the ingrained idea that this is all that's left, and you only get leftovers. So you cling to the scraps of sort of compliments and the tattered rags we call riches here, a tidal wave of worthless, and you drown in it. Sink under the water-heavy weight of your sin, confident only in your crimes, or are left feeling like a victim. You are bombarded by the message that you don't matter, and lies lured upon lies that shout, your mistakes are your makeup, beloved, wake up. The truth is, there are gold-lined cracks that reside within you, and you are worth more than this world would redeem. Not made to parade around in a pawn shop, but a castle, you are a treasure chest. Withered by wind and rain and sea, there are secrets locked inside of you. You who are the X on the map whose dotted lines lead back to creation, and the Creator himself rallied a rescue mission to retrieve you, for he is the only one who holds your key. And your brain might be bubbling up with little thoughts of insufficiencies like I am nothing, I am worthless, I am nothing. That sinister voice is the pillager, he who steals and destroys, using ploys to tickle your eardrums with truth undone, unwinding your very value. His pockets full of profit from your self-doubt and disgust. In God we mistrust is his anthem and sneaky. A boombox in your brain, creeping into your cranium like an ever repeated jukebox song. He is wrong, shut him out and move on. I know you've been hurt, struck down, maimed, and made to feel society's sting, but beloved, you have history knit within. Past wounds are wound together by threads of gold centuries old. A millennium of minutes, cells that end and rebirth again, and your broken pottery pieces are made all the more a masterpiece when the master rebuilds you. Listen. The heartache rips and tears of the past does not lend you damage, it gives you more value. There will be no more downgrading your existence. You are worth more than hand-me-down happiness and backyard baselines. You are worth a life. You are worth sacrifice. For God so loved you that he gave, sacrificed his only son, divinity turned human. He humbled himself to give you the crown. The only stipulation that you bow down. Kneel low in exaltation of the authority of the king, and by the power vested in he, arise now nobility, knighted in glory and adorned with his crest, you see. Royalty runs through your veins, trumps all your pains, trumpets declare in the heavens that you are the lineage of God, and whether you daily decide to do right or wrong, you have a story that resounds like no other song. So stand up straight as the cross, no curve in your spine, because you are aligned in Christ. You are diamonds, not covered in coal. You were not built to be burned. We were grown to glow like lights on a hill, shining brightly bejeweled, gems that stand the sands of time. So shine, beloved, shine.